Hey everybody, so welcome back to Jim Bob's Garden. So today what I want to do is plant a tree. So I'm working on my food forest area. I mean, I've got like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different areas that are, attempting to become a food forest. All right, I'll show you here in a second. But first, what I want to do is I want to plant a tree. All right, so this is going to be like how to plant a fruit tree. So this is a brand new peach tree, and we got this for $24.94 at Walmart, which is a really good price for a fruit tree. It's looking good. It's already got some blooms, got a few small peaches on it. I mean, I know a lot of people will tell you need to take off the peaches for the first couple years to make sure the tree grows, but I have not found that to be the case. This is my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4th. This will be my 5th peach tree. All right. This one is what's called a Florida King, and I'll tell you, I had a Florida King, did not do well. This year though, it's actually starting to really put on some peaches, so I'm hoping it'll do well this year. And the idea is, if I have this one here and that one over there, hopefully that'll help cross-pollinate, well, not cross-pollinate, but help with the pollination, because it seems to bloom out later than my Florida Prince, and then the other peach tree I had, which I'm not even sure what that is. So at the moment, the idea is that we're going to hopefully get more production out of both trees. It's been an issue in the past where that tree, though it is my biggest tree, has produced the least. All right, so anyway, and we love peaches, so we want to get some more peaches. So the key to it, well, all right, so let's go through this step by step. You'll excuse me, I'm really tired. I've been working in the garden all day. I'll probably walk you around here in a second to kind of show you what I got planted. But what we're going to do first, take the tree out the way, and we're going to dig a hole. Now the hole needs to be about 3 times the size of the pot that it came in. Now, exactly 3 times. I mean, if you want, you can measure it out, start doing some math, the circumferences, yada yada, so on and so forth. But make a hole, make a big hole. And the biggest reason, it's not as big a deal here for me, because I have sandy soil, so it's a lot looser soil, so the roots go out fairly easily out into my soil, particularly in this area where I'm planting this right now. This was a compost bin. I had about a 3-foot wide wire mesh, you can see right here. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Basically in a big circle, and I've been dumping stuff into that for the last, I don't know, 2-3 years. All right, and it all rotted down, made some really nice soil that should have also soaked down into the soil below it with all the rain that's come through, and made it nice and fertile. So that's the plan. That's why I did this here. And then the plan was to put a tree into it afterwards. Now in the general vicinity, I have a goji berry. No, I'm sorry, that's a mulberry. I had a goji berry, but it died. I got some over there, I'll replant them. Anyway, I've got a mulberry, I've got a loquat, I've got a plum, I've got a kumquat, I've got pomegranate, I have moringa, and I have a pecan tree. Now the idea is that most of these are going to stay small, and then the pecan tree will get up and be the overstory, and it'll get sun a little bit in the morning, but mostly afternoon sun will come through and hit this tree pretty much from around noon on, even after this gets to be, the pecan tree gets to be a really large tree. So you kind of want to plan ahead and think about, what you want. And I mean, if you're trying to do a food forest, you want that overstory. And then you want the understory, which is the shorter, smaller trees, which is what we're doing here. Now, distance from tree to tree, I mean, some places they'll tell you 20 feet, you gotta have 20 feet. I don't think that's the case. I've seen people put them in the same hole, okay, and the trees have done fine. So I don't think that's going to be an issue, and that's the whole idea behind the food forest. We'll get the trees up and get them growing real well. And then from there we'll start putting stuff up underneath. Like I have shampoo ginger in here, I have blackberry in here, I have mustard greens, I have all kind of stuff that grows in here on a regular basis, and we'll continue to do so. So we're going to dig a hole. Alright, like I said, you want it about 3 times the size of the pot of the tree that you're getting into, or that you put in it. I'll show you here in a second after I'm done. Ah, man, I'm tired. Alright, so you don't really have to go deep, but particularly if you got clay soil or impacted soil where it's like really tight down there, you might want to dig down a little bit lower. And then here, one of our issues here in North Jacksonville area, we have some very sandy soil. Okay, you dig down far enough, you're going to come to, see right there, the different colors. So you can see I've gotten good dirt down to about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep. All right, we should be fine. So I'm going to dig down about that far. I'm going to loosen up the dirt in the hole. Chop back any competing roots for the moment. But the roots from the other trees, we'll get in and amongst these. They'll be fine. They'll cooperate with each other. And some people say it's even better. I mean, you go in a forest and all the trees are not 20 feet apart. Alright, so now one of the mistakes that people make when they plant a fruit tree is they bury it too deep. And I've done this and killed an apple tree that way. Alright? You don't want to do that. Most trees, you can kind of tell where the crown is, basically where the top of the root line meets the actual tree that goes up. If you look here at this tree, you can see right here, this is a grafted tree. This is grafted on, actually grafted down here. It's a grafted tree, so it's a hybrid. So you can't really just take this tree, chop off a branch and regrow it and expect it to come out good. It probably won't, because it is a hybrid, meaning it has a different root stock than the actual tree up above it. All right? They have a hardier, healthier, stronger root stock that doesn't produce as delicious a fruit, and then you put the delicious fruit on top. All right? One day I'll do some grafting. Okay, now what I do is I'll lay this down and I'll push on the sides and roll it, being careful not to jack up my branches. All right, we want to get that loosened up so that I can basically pull the pot off. Now you can kind of see on this one that we have the roots circling around here. All right, so what we're going to do is kind of break those roots up a little bit over the hole so that we basically get the dirt to go down in the hole. All right. Now I don't fertilize my trees, but this does have fertilizer in it, basically from the nursery that grew the tree. So you just want to kind of break stuff up so that the roots are not going around in a circle. Pull up my pants. Pants on the ground, pants on the ground. All right. And if you hear music, I can't help that. It's unavoidable. It's not mine. Not my music. That was good music. Alright, so now we want to plan out the tree so that basically you're looking at it being about level with the general level of the ground, okay? And then again, we don't want to bury it any deeper. We want it to go essentially right where it's at right now. It's usually really good. You can look down, start feeling to where you notice that you got roots coming up, and that's where you want it at. So then we're just going to take this and backfill it back in. You can throw compost in A lot of people will tell you to make sure you put lots of fertilizer in. I don't use fertilizer, and I'll tell you, you know, it's not because I'm a purist or anything of that nature. No, I do believe that, you know, chemicals are bad and food. I do believe that it's better to avoid fertilizers because they are chemical, and it is going into the tree and by extension into the fruit, and so you're going to end up with those chemicals in your body if you eat the fruit. And I mean, I don't know if they're good or bad. I'm not here to try and go all politics on you, but I try to avoid it whenever possible. It's kind of like insecticides and such. I don't use any of them. I mean, I know there's some organic insecticides and so on, but one, what exactly does organic mean? Is there a definition? And two, just because it's grown in nature does not mean it doesn't have chemicals. Now, whether or not them chemicals are good for you or bad for you, again, there are plenty of poisons that grow naturally. All right, and in fact, most poisons start off in nature. Even if you take this peach tree, I'm pretty sure peaches are like apples. I think there is some arsenic or what have you in the seeds, but I don't know that for sure. So I mean, just because it's grown in nature does not mean that it's good for you. All right, there's plenty of poisons out there that are natural. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to leave a little ridge here of soil around the outside, basically a little dam, at least for the first year or two, with the idea being that I can fill this little well here up, and I know that if I got a good fill on this well or this dam, that's about enough water for the tree. All right, because it's about, you know, 2 inches tall. All right, 2 inches will go 4 inches. So if I do that on a fairly regular basis, I mean, 2 inches of water will go 4 inches into the ground. If I do that on a regular basis, then there should be plenty of water for the tree until it's able to establish itself. All right, and then once you establish it, I have grown peaches, pears, apples, plums, loquats, kumquats. What else do I have? Bananas. What else? Anyway, I've grown all this fruit, and for several years now, since I've really kind of stopped, and now I'm going back to it, but I stopped buying trees and putting them in. I've grown them all just off the range. All right, I haven't had to add additional water for the most part. Just whatever fell out of the sky, and they seem to do just fine. All right. Oh, and also got oranges. That's what it is. I'm missing 2 different orange trees, lemons. We got all kind of stuff growing now. All right. Oh yeah, and persimmons. I'll be doing a walk around here first part of spring, and I'll show you, once again, all the stuff I got. But there you go. Now it's in the ground. I got my little water well around it, so I can fill it up, and this should hold a good chunk of water. When you first put it in, I mean, I don't have a gallon amount, but you want to put a good amount of water. You want to soak it in really well, get that water all the way down in there. This soil is fairly damp. We've had some rain here recently, so it's actually got a little bit of moisture to it. So, and then I got a huge rainstorm coming through tomorrow, same one that just went through and jacked up some people and killed a bunch of people in Missouri and other places. It's fixing to hit tonight or tomorrow morning, so that's one of the reasons why I've been working my booty off, trying to get as much in to the ground as possible before the rain gets here. Alright, well, thanks everybody for stopping by. Do me a favor, give me a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. But grow something. Get something growing in your yard, man. And fruit trees are fantastic. All right, you spend $25, and you know this thing should produce for 20, 25 years. All right, so $1 a year, that's a pretty good deal in my book. All right, anyway, thanks for stopping by. Y'all come back and see me.